Alright, so we're back with part B. And as you're ascended from the water below, from the lower parts of that temple, into a little bit of a higher place, you essentially emerge from the water here and stop it. No. Stop. Just stop. Just stop. Okay? Stop. It just like also bothered me in my eye because I'm trying to put your characters outside of like each other frame. It just bothers me. So stop. That was funny while it lasted. Anyway, you're seeing yourself like this, and you essentially see kind of like a shore of sort. You are pretty much 100% know that you're not in the outside world again, or should I say on the surface, but you are a little bit above from the place that you went down into to the temple. As like you run like blindlessly into it, and or should I say jumped into it, and like don't really know where you ended. But this is what you see right now. Okay, this is what you see.
The fuck are we?
Good question.
Thank you. Do you have an answer?
I'm the DM. I'm not supposed to answer you.
Oh, so that was the great god from the sky.
Yes,
I thought it was Lucy.
The sky and just said question, and then close it. Okay.
Okay, then I'll start moving.
Okay. Adventure, Bobby.
Yeah, that looks important.
Just stop giving me, the hide area. For this one, as you step ahead, it's just a statue. Like nothing too special about it. Just a statue.
It's a statue of what?
Statue of what looks like to be a fish person. Like, the demi-humans, but a fish one. But it's not like a mermaid, okay? It's different. It's not like a mermaid. It's more of like
So it's not the lower. So it's the upper half of a fish, not the lower one.
It's not exactly the upper.
Or the Zora from Zack.
It's kind of like it's not like a dumb fish, but it looks like more of like it's a fish head and like fish part. It looks like actual, but it's not like a dumb fish. Looks like a dumb fish. It looks like an actual like more humanoid, but it is fish from the upper part. Yes, or should I say like the face is like fish-like, and then it does have like the gills in some places, but like its hands, it's like looks like frog hands, kind of like making a combination with like frog and fish and human, but not exactly.
The fuck is this? Lucy, you know anything?
That's new to me. I've never seen these kind of demi-humans before.
Are we standing on some sort of an altar, or is just the statue?
Just a statue. And it looks like it's fairly new compared to everything else here.
Okay. Split up and search the area. Don't leave.
Okay, I'm going with Lucina.
Stop. Okay, sure. Anyway. You guys go.
He doesn't get
what this? What this?
It just looks like a what are called? It looks like a place where you put fire in it, but like it's not lit.
Pillar type deals.
Okay.
Yes, but that's what you do see ahead of you. I'm going to reveal the entire map actually because there's no reason to hide it anymore. Just give me a second. I'm going to do this thing. Just let me know if you guys can see the entire map. If not, I'm just going to glance over it. Do you see the entire map?
Not all of it, but we can see here.
Okay, so why are you keep doing the
here
thing? Reveal areas, don't hide areas. Sorry. Just like roll 20s for today, just fight with me over the reveal to hide areas. I don't know why. Now
Just
you
like
can see.
Discord fighting with me.
Yeah.
Okay, so you see the following thing as you step into the shore. You see these are supposed to be the tokens of the same people of the statue as you've seen before. It kind of like it's not look like exactly the same, but these are like people that you see like kind of like stepping out here. And they're not looking friendly. They're looking like they're kind of like with pitchforks and stuff like that, or the equivalent of a waterfront, and like they're looking at you. All of them kind of like a little bit of like
Hello.
one of them is kind of like stepping forward, is like, "What is your business here? Are you like one of the previous one that are just going to hurt us for no good reason?" And then the other hand, another one saying like, "Oh, it doesn't matter, burn them anyway, or drown. Should I say drown them anyway?" And then you hear some like cheers in the crowd, yeah, yeah, kind of like screaming out for that.
Uh, can I
They
ask
are
a question
persuasive
before you try
dragons,
to drown us?
And then kind of like roll what called? Look at the word for it. Not diplomacy. What's the word for it? Like there is a
Persuasion,
persuasion
if
with
anything.
advantage. With advantage because you do have help from your friends. I guess if you guys want to jump in on that. Do you guys want to help him or not?
No.
No.
persuasion.
I mean, he's the only one who needed to roll, but sure, let's take the 17 persuasion. It doesn't look like the mob 100% believe you, but it does look like they're like you do not want to hurt them 100. Like they're still not trusting you, right? But it doesn't look like they're going to like start killing you. It just if you will make a wrong move, they will get gang over you. And like this is just to show 15 of them, kind of like show you the number of them, because otherwise they need to fill the entire map. But there is like about like up to here people, like up to here, like an entire rows, 5 rows of like full up to here.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay, guys, put down your weapons.
I was about to say I was going to pull out the grenade.
Oh my
15
god.
ain't too bad.
I'm here to static again.
Grognak takes out his warhammer and puts it on the ground. Pretty much taking out his weapon, and he doesn't have any weapon on him. He takes every weapon he has and puts it on the ground slowly.
Okay. In response, one of them does the same thing. It kind of like steps closer to you.
As a cleric of Leosis, it's not my desire to start a war or a fight.
And he kind of like you see his fish eyes kind of like close a little bit. It's like he kind of doesn't really understand what do you mean by that name of a god, but he does respect you and like not like say anything about it. It's like, and he kind of like he looks to be like the more important one out here, and he just asks you, is like, what is your business here? What are you doing here?
We went after that guy, I assume, that went over here earlier. Want to catch him.
And do you have any idea how much problem? Also, rank up. If you don't talk, put yourself on the hold because I do hear static from you. Like put yourself on mute. When you're not talking, put yourself on mute because I hear the static. Sorry about that. Anyway, point is that he stepped in like saying, "Do you have any idea how much damage he did? He just like ruined like our entire like culture being here. It's already bad enough that we're stuck in here and we don't even know how he got in. but for the fact that it's like he also just like ruined everything we have and kind of like take weeks to uh, build again as he like ran around and just took some of our stuff and just locked himself in the upper parts of the temple.
Do we have an idea how to get out of here going back? Is it can we just go back and outside? Can we show them the way?
Not that you are aware of at the moment. Like even the portal.
So it's not like we can show them the way to the lower level and then going through the lower level and up.
No, it got locked immediately after you entered in. It's kind of like
Damn.
The turbulence that like there was a really strong turbulence and like anybody that was trying to get over that kind of like underwater thing as you kind of like went in will just probably will be teared apart. So no. For the moment, like you are guys locked here. Unless of course you'll find a way to essentially get out. And it's kind of like Lucienne kind of like looks at you and like you probably ask her that and it's kind of like she says like no there's no I'm pretty sure there is no way out, so we'll just defeat that guy or essentially find a way how he was able to enter in and just mimic that. That's probably the only way to get out.
Lucy, you got any ideas?
Well, like I told you, the only way to do it is probably to defeat them.
Wait, them or the guy that we're chasing?
The guy that we're chasing, he's the one that opened up the place.
Okay, just wanted to make it clear. So I turn back to the what I assume is the leader.
Okay.
So just like my companion said, it's probably going to taking down that metal man that came over.
Kind of like looks at you as like, and you said that if you do that, you can get a way out. You will take us out as well. He asks.
I look at Lucy.
He doesn't really respond. She kind of like lets you do it. Like you specifically need to do it. Kind of like that's what she tell you with her eyes. She's not like getting involved.
If you wish to, we will take you. If you wish to remain here, you can stay, but we will keep the path open.
We definitely want to get out of here, he says. We kind of got stuck in here about 15 years ago for people. We got stuck here in this place for that amount of time. We really only try to get our people over the lower parts of the lake that we're at, since we are fish people and we do need lakes to survive. We can get out of water, he says, but we cannot do it for a very long period of time, so we do need a place with water. And this particular lake that we're at, or essentially like the big lake that we're at, is a pretty perfect place for us, but unfortunately we tried to reach a little bit lower for it to the civilization of a city I think named Ipernod or something like that, and we got stuck along the way as we camped here. At least that's what my parents told me, he said. And that's pretty much the story of why we're stuck here for the moment. And we really wish every one of us to see the outside one.
Okay, this is probably going to be a dick move on my part, but I just cannot stop myself.
Okay, go ahead.
You said you were going to Eperned, right?
Yes.
She, I point to Lucy, is the fiancée of Eperned's lord.
Okay, and he just like looks at you and like look at her and like with his fish eyes.
So, if anything, if we can get out, she would be able to help you.
Or if in the worst case scenario, we will be rescued anyway. Probably. He said, not sure.
Well, the Lord still has the final say, but as you know, woman has a lot of sway over a man.
She looks at you kind of like even more annoyed and like, you know that he and I has the same number. Like, you have the same power being council members. He just he's just controlled this region. You know that, right? You don't have to make this complicated.
I'm talking relationships now.
You guys are good fighters, but very annoying people.
Yes.
Yes, you are.
Anyway, so where did he go so I can punch him?
And like the fish guy said, we told you. He went to the upper side of the temple. And it's a little bit more locked. It's a little bit locked right now. And I think you should probably go in to talk to one of our elders rather than jump right into conclusions of storming right ahead, he says. Nobody dares enter to the temple upper floors anyway. I'm pretty sure adventurers like you could, but if you're saying that this guy is dangerous, he might make the place even more dangerous for you. So we should probably getting you guys prepared and rested up for that, because I'm pretty sure he's not going to go anywhere if he trapped himself here. He does, or should I say, he wants something from us here. That's why he stays here. Because from what we know, and from what we scour, there is no way to get outside of the temple. Besides trying to flood the entire place. Which I'm pretty sure none of you want.
Not really.
So I'm pretty sure he's looking for something. So how about we'll get you down into the city, rather than just talk about stuff.
That would be much appreciated.
And map load, please.
I slowly take my warhammer from the ground.
So basically, just for reference to everybody to understand, this. Okay, look at the map. This exactly where you are, like around this place. Okay, they wanted to get around here. So basically, this is like around like 2 days travel or something like that, like where you are, like a day travel up to here, and essentially they got stuck here, around here. Like it's a day or two travel, and they got stuck here. Then for this place, like up here, it's like also additional like 2 days of travel. So basically, they wanted to get to Epernod specifically. From the stream that, like, pretty much from up reference, they kind of like wanted to get from this stream down to here, pretty much. That's what they wanted to get to. And they got stuck. Anyway, anybody else want to add something to the conversation? Or not? Okay. Nothing that Cabled and or Bobby want to say. Fine. Let us get down into the city itself. Anyway. So, you're getting down to the city as he essentially, or should I say, city, as he's essentially kind of like take you guys into it. And you see mostly like a very, very, very moderate city, right? It's kind of like filled with like, it's not tents because this is still fish people. It's like kind of like look like mud houses. It's not like something crazy. And you see something that like kind of like looks like the bazaar or so. Again, nothing too crazy about that. Like it looks like very simple. Like it looks like the people here accommodated for like you don't really know their culture or so, but you do see that they're kind of like more accommodated, and it's like it's not look like it's supposed to be a main thing that they're supposed to have, rather than their actual um like where they want to live. And this is kind of like it's kind of an interesting thing because it's kind of like a fuse underwater, but also like not, because you do step on dry land, but it's dry land like actually it's not a dry land, it's moist land all the time. And you do see like kind of like streams of water where like fish people like jumps into them and kind of like use them to travel throughout this little city. And essentially, this fish guy with two of the other guys lead you to what looks to be more of the more like beautiful houses of this place. As he kind of like lets you guys enter in, and you kind of like meet before you with what looks like to be an older fishman. You see kind of like it's not look like a beard, but more of like his he does have like kind of like a mustache, like like I don't know what fish has like a mustache, like kind of like that. I don't know, like the fishes that have mustaches, kind of like that. And you do see like kind of like you do see that he's old, pretty much, and kind of like that guy is like that fish guy, kind of like because he didn't give you his name, kind of like bow before him and just says, "Elder, I brought you these travelers, which apparently did not come to attack us as the previous one, and they're looking for your aid to help them in well, getting to the upper sides of the temple." And he kind of like says, as you guys um, enter in. Okay, so what are you guys doing? He kind of like the elder like looked at you guys.
It's an honor,
Dragon,
great
show your
elder.
magic.
Don't talk at the same time.
And I bow.
Okay, who else wanted to say something?
I'll just say hi.
Mendel is also saying because he is here. Um, and kind of like, so I assume that you're here to deal with the situation that occurred to us. Is that guy someone that you know, or that human or thing, something that you know, aims to essentially attack us for no good reason?
We don't know him per se. We know that we want to apprehend him.
And for what reason for? Asks. Did he did something bad to you specifically?
Well, he attacked us first.
Well, technically, he didn't really attack you. The orcs that were with him attacked. He just ran away. But yeah.
That's the story that I'm going to roll with.
Fine. Well, it did start to also, once he entered into the upper sides of the temple, the water in some particular places started to turn white, and every fish that were in it, while became shined with divine favor, did became a little bit more violent than you, until they were pulled and got attended to. Do you have any idea what that is? Did you ever face that kind of a peril before? Because that is what we're
Oh
dealing with.
no! Oh no!
It sounds that you know what what I'm talking about. And he looks at all the three of you. It's like, is any of you also have add something to add beside your friend?
No, I'm going to leave him to do the talking. I'm just going to be that quiet guy who sits in the back.
Fair enough. And then he looks at you, Cabled.
Yeah, hi.
Interesting, odd bits of travelers. Don't look anything alike at all.
Well, we're not brothers. Of course we don't look alike.
In terms of races, you fool, he says, kind of laughing at you. Or should I say, with you. And he kind of like looks at you again, Gorgnak, and just says, so what is that thing that you said, oh no, about?
I talked the spiel about the white madness to him.
White madness. Affecting people with way too much divine power as they go insane. Interesting. That's something that is not really known to my people because we do not use divine power or favor. We are only using water as our tea.
Yes, but as you can see, that person can bring divine magic to water, giving you the madness.
Just like the bears or whatever those creatures are that you mentioned before got pretty much hit with that divine madness as you said it. Because I'm pretty sure you gave him the example.
Yes, sir.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
you,
I talked about the bears. Didn't say anything more about. Just talked about the white madness.
yeah, I guessed that you only talked about it, so I think I guessed correct. Talked about it. He kind of like looks at you as like, well, it doesn't look like he's going to be finished anytime soon. And the water do get um, white noticeably slowly. We only started to evacuate just a few hours ago. And yes, you guys have been inside that temple for a little bit of, and you don't really know because it's been like you've been in like the temple itself for like an hour or so, and you already hear from him that he kind of like that guy have been here for more time than you guys for like few hours.
I would like to ask, Great Elder, is the color of the white water getting more white or is getting more diluted?
Defy what you mean by more what?
Is it getting whiter? Is the divine power in the water getting greater?
Well, we do not really have the ability to check such a thing, he says. But we did evacuate every place possible and block those streams of water so they will not contaminate others, at least for the. But it doesn't really seem to help us that much.
I understand. we still would like to go ahead and apprehend him so that no more water is tainted by the divine.
May I ask how you all got in here? I'm pretty sure he's being ahead of you for a few hours because he got the ability to enter before you, and he has the key to enter. Do you also have the key to get out, or you followed him inside?
So when we were attacked by him and his men, he ran away, and we defeated his subordinates, warriors, his men. We defeated his men and just followed after him.
Hmm. So he has the power and you don't. So what you say that if you were not going to defeat him, you might also be as seen here, and it's not a guarantee that you'll be able to get out.
We are still willing to try.
Fair enough. If you are able to get out, we'll be very happy to give you our aid, essentially get back to any destination you wish to.
Thank you.
Now, I'm pretty sure you would like to rest from your getting in here, or at least take a little bit of a and then charge into the temple, correct?
That would be greatly appreciated, yes.
Well, you're more than welcome to use any service in the city as you says. As he kind of like you see him kind of like moving to the side, pulling up something like looks like it's kind of like a weird thing because like it looks like an it's not an herb. What the name for like a water plant? I don't really.
Which one?
The one. Just give me a name for a water plant. I don't really remember. You take a water plant. I'm not sure which one because I don't really remember names. He essentially kind of like scraps something on it.
Seaweed?
Seaweed, good. He scraps something on it and he just like hand it to you. And he said, "This is my symbol, and you can use it to use any services that you wish in the city, as long as you show it. Just don't overdo it, and don't use your authority too much. I trust that you will do the right thing if you are come here to apprehend this man."
Thank you, Great Elder.
Now go do your business. The funny thing is, none of you even asked their names. But anyway, the nameless fish. You don't really have names for them. You never asked their names.
Yep.
Anyway, what do you all wish to do for your rest time? And I'm talking about all of you. I know that Gorgnak essentially just make the conversation, but I want to know all of you what you wish to do.
Grognak will go ahead and try and find some alcohol.
Well, it's a little bit hard to find alcohol with fish, but yeah.
Grognak is willing to try.
Roll an investigation. You don't find any bar or anything equivalent of an alcohol, but you do find a hotel that you will be able, or should I say, not hotel, but like a place that you will be able to stay there for like a few hours, at least, to rest.
Bitch.
The rest of you, what are you doing?
Where's Mendel? Where's Mendel?
Mendel is with you, don't worry.
Can I pet him? Like, a lot.
Yes, but what are you doing that makes sense and to the story?
Uh, that's a good question.
He's going to sit down and pet Mendel
Yeah.
for 8 hours.
No. 9 hours.
Okay, so you're not going to do anything. Bobby, what are you doing for your rest time?
Is there any like shops that sell some accessories, weapon type deals, I guess?
Sure, you can try. Okay, so you're able to essentially like go around the town a little bit or this place. You're not sure really what to call this place. This moist place is all around just like filled with moist, like because they're fish people. Um, and you kind of like walk around until you find yourself in front of what looks to you like a general store for like the general things and like the bazaar area. It's like it looks like there's a general store and then a weapon store on the other side, and that's pretty much it. But it's mostly basic things for the most part. But it does looks like you know just like a pretty okay place. So you get to choose from between two stores, a weapons store and a general store. So you can get like to choose which one of them you want to go and essentially do your thing. What do you want to go into?
I'll go to a weapons store.
Okay. So as you enter a weapons store, you meet with someone a little bit different from most fish people, but like the standard one. But he still looks like he's part of the general one because instead of the rest of them, he has a head of a shark and a hammer shark on his like head instead, and he kind of like looks at you and is like, "Hello, it's fancy seeing a creature like you here. How can I help you? Are you are you supposed to be here? Even kind of like you kind of like not really know how to handle this, so he's kind of like start mumbling around. It's kind of like he's not really aggressive towards you or something, but you kind of like he's not really know how to handle it. There's like an outsider that doesn't really look like his people, and it's kind of like are you one of those creatures that before, like one of those guys that essentially just attacked us?
Actually, I'm going to be the person to attack the people who attacked you, so
So you show
hopefully
you
that...
you show him the sigil of the what is his name again? Of the elder, I guess.
Of the guy we didn't ask his name.
Yes, the elder. Well, you didn't ask both guys' names, not him and not the young ones. These ones. So in the lore, they're going to be known as the nameless fished elder and the nameless fish soldier. The nameless fish people.
Freaky fish guy, and fish
And
elder.
elder, yes. Anyway, you kind of like see the sigil and it's kind of like, okay, sure. What can I help you with?
I'm looking for accessories, not particularly weapons.
What kind?
I guess something that can make my attacks stronger.
Attack stronger, he says. And not on your weapon. So you mean magic?
Yes, that could do.
You mean magical thing. He kind of like thinks for a second. Kind of like looks and rummage through things around. And essentially, he, at the end, kind of like picks something like looks like a glove, and he just like puts it on the table.
Okay, what does this gauntlet do?
So, are you looking to hit things harder? Like he just asked you before he put it on the table. It's like, are you looking to hit things harder, or are you looking to hit things more accurately, better, and then you can hit them harder?
I think I'll go for accuracy. That's probably my weak spot.
Well, This lovely thing is a very interesting one. Essentially, it's going to prevent you from super failing. You're not always going to hit your target, but you are able to kind of like not fail it as much, I guess, if that makes sense. You're going to hit more than you miss. Let's just say that. That's what he's trying to say. Basically, he suggests to you something like a specific gauntlet that pretty much not add for you, but like giving you the ability kind of to take advantage to the other side, like announce before you roll and like take advantage to 2 times a day when you roll for attack, pretty much. So you have like the ability to kind of like roll better.
Okay, this seems interesting. What would be the price range, good sir?
Well, you are a surface dweller, so you kind of use other things than what we use here. I'm not really sure how that works, he says. Because you probably use other materials up there to trade. I think I heard something like gold that what you guys use too up there.
Yes, that's correct.
Well, I'm not really interested in gold and stuff, and most people here are not. Do you have any other materials that are interesting that I can make for them stuff, or could be unique and just interesting to get that we don't see a whole lot around here that could make into either good, cooking or materials to create more weapons? That could interest me quite a bit.
Um, what about... I need to look at my stuff real quick, actually.
Because you do have a lot of things that you looted.
Are you any bit interested in this centipede mouth sack that I stumbled upon a little bit ago?
And he kind of like looks at it. Well, what is it exactly? Like he asks you because he's not really.
Uh, it's like centipede poison, I think, right? Is it?
So you're going to coat. It's something that you can coat weapons with. He says. He asks you.
Yes.
Well, that's definitely nice. I'm pretty sure that can be nice, but I'm giving up a pretty important item here. I think it's a pretty strong one, so it's a good start. He says. I think like one or two things like this. If you can put one or two things, additional things like this, we can have a deal. He says.
Maybe these 2 medium pieces of centipede armor could be useful for crafting something.
kind of like give it like kind of like give you like put his hand together. I don't know why I got stuck on that. Put his hand in front of you, kind of like put the piss in it, and is like kind of like ask, may I? And he kind of like knock on the piece of armor and is like saying, flexible, interesting. You can make something interesting, either an armor that can be bouncy, or you can even make some kind of a weapon that essentially just like flex back. Very interesting. Got anything that looks very very nice that you might want to also give, or you have nothing else?
Have I looted any weapons? I don't remember if I have like any weapon I can use
If you don't
good.
have on your character sheet any weapons, like of course you need to look at yourself then, because you did sell some few things back, few episodes back.
I also have I know a lot of centipede stuff. I have I think 4
You also
giant
got the
centipede
octopus
legs.
thing recently right now, so just to note that if you forgot about it.
Okay. I have these 4 giant centipede legs. I was able to cook some, so they are actual food.
Okay, so you cooked all of them or some of them?
I think I cooked like half, and I picked up 8, so I have 4 left.
So you're going to give him the 4 cooked or uncooked?
4 uncooked.
Okay. And he kind of like looks at those 4 and is like, these can make her interesting blades. Or things that are interest me. His like says, yeah, sure, these are nice. These are all came from the same creature, he says? He asks you?
Yes, it was from a giant centipede that we found on a ship.
And he's
Quite an
asking
interesting
you,
fight.
what's a centipede? Like, what exactly is a centipede? He's really not understanding what you mean when you're saying a centipede. But he does say,
Oh, it's
yeah.
this like insect type thing. It has 100 legs. It's very long. Um, it's very hard to explain, but it can incite nightmares in people. They do look quite scary.
So you're saying like a big, scary, long thing that has this as a shell, this as his. Like he kind of like look a little bit terrified, but it's like that's fascinating. These are his legs, these are parts of his armor, and this is like what he's spitting. That sounds such an amazing creature, he says. You can make so much with those. And he kind of like, well, I think we have a deal here.
All right, good trade. Thank you for your service.
Hey, if you'll see anything interesting that I might make with this, I might going to let you test it a little bit, just to see how that is. And he essentially just like said to you goodbye, and you can go to do whatever you are wishing to if you're looking for other stuff.
I think I'm generally happy with what I got, so I'll go to whatever place we are sleeping at.
Okay. So, anyway, you're coming back into the to your like what it called. I don't know why I'm getting like stopped um on like few things, but like the place that you're staying. I don't know why I got stuck on that. Um, you're getting there, and you seeing like Cable is kind of like petting Mendel, and like I don't know what Bobby Gorgnack is doing. Lucienne is kind of like she's not really meditating. She's kind of like focusing on doing particular things, but she's not really much into. And she kind of like looks like she took like a side room and let you all sleep in one room, and she kind of like took a side room to herself. Does it make sense? And she kind of like asks you, like, where did you get that? He kind of like looks at the glove that you got or cutlet that you got.
Oh well, I traded some stuff in to get it from.
So your looting does come to be useful sometimes.
Yes, it does. It's a pro gamer move.
He also kind of like looks at you kind of like that, and kind of like looks at Gorgnak, and it's like, so you're a servant of the god of Lucien, and what is his name again? Leosis?
Yes, Leosis.
Huh. Funny thing. I'm actually named a little bit after him.
Neat.
It's pretty nice. I guess it's also because of the color of my hair that represents light. So, you guys probably need to take some rest. Probably. We need to rest before we'll take care of something like this. He kind of like looked at Cable specifically. He specifically, that smooth brain, does need to take a rest a little bit. Kind of like looks at
Hey,
him.
Mendel is awesome.
And she kind of like rolls her eyes and says, see what I mean?
I agree with him. Mendel is awesome.
It's whatever, she says, kind of like.
But still, he has to take a break.
Hey, where could I get some milk?
I don't
Ask
even.
around.
I don't think you can get milk underwater. He kind of like says.
Dang it.
Go get the shiny white water. It's almost like milk.
Only it's going to drive you insane from what you guys told me.
Shh. He doesn't need to know.
Well, I'm going to take a little bit of a rest, if you don't mind.
Nope.
Please do.
And she kind of like stepped to the side room, closed the door as much as she's able to, because still fish people, not really doors or whatever. And she kind of like rests. What do you guys all do? Or you?
I'm gonna open the door.
It's locked.
I smack him.
Yep, you're able to, and the door is locked. What are you, are perv? And like even Mendel is not happy when you're trying to open up the door.
I try to cut it open with my sword.
And Mendel.
I smack him again.
And Mendel.
We try to cut Cable open with a sword.
and Mendel,
Stop it, Cable.
And then Mendel is kind of like start chewing on your legs. He was like biting it.
See, even Mendel is against it.
Okay, I'll stop because Mendel wants me to stop.
Oh. Gosh.
He's even worse than you, isn't he? Says God. Do you?
His moral compass comes from a duck. I don't think we should really trust him.
Oh, God.
God, at least I don't want to destroy property and peep. Too much.
I don't think he's even trying to peep. I just think he's just a little bit dumb. Says God to you again.
In my mind.
Yes. Anyway. You all taking rest, I guess. Unless, of course, there's something specifically you wish to do.
Instead of petting Mendel, I'm gonna start patting him.
What?
You're getting smacked in the head again.
I just like a little pat on the head, you know?
Oh my God.
Stop being stupid. Are you drunk?
No.
Actually, I need you to roll something. I need you
Okay, time.
to roll, I need a Cable to roll, what's called?
Intelligence with disadvantage.
No. Actually, Wisdom. And I need, Gorgnak to roll for me, what it called? Not Insight, the other one. Perception.
I see nothing.
Does Bobby also want to roll the perception or not?
I'll do so.
Okay, good. Let's see if it's in that one. Good. Anyway, yes, it's in that one.
You called it.
Yeah, kind of like.
Oh, wait, I rolled the wrong thing. Persuasion. I messed up.
That's fine. Then we'll roll it again. But the point is like, Cable, you do notice that like the amulet that you have kind of like shines again and shines very violently. And also, Bobby noticed that, and it's kind of like noticed that like only now that you guys notice that like probably that's the reason why Cable is acting weird, because of the fact that this like thing just making me act even more stupider than usual. Because this thing is like shining.
I don't see any fun.
I don't know if magic can actually affect that.
But you do notice that like
What?
this thing is like really, really shine violently. It's not like, it's not like bright. It's like this thing like turned off its pink over and over again, like really violent. Not like softly. It's just really violently over and over.
And the bright light makes me try to open the door to Lucina's room again.
No, you're just acting stupid.
Yeah, that's
Grognak has been face palming so much that he doesn't even see it.
Until you essentially just like the colors start like being bright pink, and you just collapse on the floor immediately, like with no choice. Like Cable just like immediately collapsed on the floor.
We beat the villain of the game.
Okay, that takes care of one of the issues we have tonight.
He does breathe, but he is like looks asleep, or at least out of it right now. So the rest of you are taking a rest tonight, and nothing happens with you. However, Abel, your night is not as uneventful as the others. For you see, in your night, something very, very interesting happens. It's opened up with a bright pink light as you enter into what looks like kind of like an empty purplish pink place with which is like it's really really dark and pink and purplish place with like points of like what looks like stars around you as you just like start walking around. And you kind of like looks around you and you don't really understand what you are. There is nothing around you that you can see for naked eye for the moment. What are you doing as you look around you? Hey, Bolt?
what am I doing? I'm just like I'm kind of just like stunned.
You do notice thing, however, a few for second. What looks like to be a shadow of a duck, kind of like going through the
Duck.
thing.
I chase it.
Okay, you chase it, and after a few minutes, you start hearing things, kind of like soft voices, but very low voices. And as the entire
And what
things
shout?
around you start darken, you start hearing them more strongly. Well, at least one of them more strongly. One of them saying something like this: "You weren't looking for power, but power found you." As you kind of like looks like essentially like what looks to be as everything turns dark and the dark shadow disappears and reveal what looks to be a giant red dragon. Kind of like looks at you.
Is it the Crimson Dragon?
The power of Burgul is yours, child.
Oh wait, well let me write this down. I need to remember this name. You said Fulgil?
Burgul. You know what Burgul is? The food.
Orgul.
Burgul. I'm going to
Orgul.
just give me a second. I need to look that up. What's the name of that in English? So you will know what the food is. Give me a second. Burgul. It's load already. Oh my god, I really want to let you know what it feels like to essentially be named after food. Just give me the ability to look that name. I really, really want to. Anyway, this thing, or this creature, or this giant dragon, it's kind of like just kind of like looks at you with his big yellow eyes.
Does it speak Draconic?
Yes, that's what you hear. You hear Draconic.
Okay. I'm gonna say hello.
You're a very interesting fellow. Not the most smartest one.
And then I'm going to be offended by that.
But very interesting one. So Borgol, it's pretty much the food. I don't know what that is in English, right? I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly. Um, Wheat's groats. I think that's the name of that in English. I think.
Bulgur is a cereal food made from a cracked parabolic groats of several different wheat species,
Yes, that one.
most often from the durum wheat.
That's pretty much what
It
that is.
originated from Middle Eastern cuisine.
You don't need to go over it. The point is, he's named after that thing. It's a reference for something old that I did back in the day. Point is, this dragon looks at you and is like saying, "You're not the most smartest creature, but you are a very courageous one when it comes to the things that you do." And
And to prove it, my courageousness, I'm gonna shoot with my crossbow.
you don't really have your crossbow, but you do try to shoot him. It's like amusing. He kind of looks at you like amusing me very much. You have the power and the protection of the predecessor of all dragons, the great god himself, Borgul. He got a food, dragon food. But he just looks at you and is like, this amulet that you got is a pretty interesting one. It will give you the power to be unvulnerable or less vulnerable for a while. But it does come cost. Not only for your
What's the cost?
mind that you are acting a little bit strange, but because of the fact that it's also going to make you unbeing able to be healed by your friends for a little while. So basically what he's telling you that you're able to activate this once a day, essentially in combat, giving yourself a huge boost of AC, which I need to decide on. I think I decided on 4 or 5. Not 100% sure. And then for 5 rounds. But for that time of rounds, you have a higher AC, and you do have damage reduction to one damage of your choice, of the ones that I'm going to tell you, ones I'm going to give you the item. But you aren't being able to be healed by any of your friends. You can only be healed by your own abilities. Not any of your friends can heal you for that time. No potions, no anything. Just you are healing yourself at bare maximum. So you cannot just get any help from the outside, pretty much.
A small price to pay for salvation.
Well said. And he kind of just looks at you from his above and then flies majestically into the sky. Or the void, as it looks like to you. And you wake up in your bed, or moist bed. Looks around you. You realize that it was all a dream. And yeah, you all wake up in the morning and start to organize to going to the temple, or the upper routes of the temple.
Hey guys, I saw a dragon.
Neat.
He's gone loony.
Yep.
I need you both of you to roll a perception check again. Both of you, Bobby and Gorgnak.
Roll what?
Roll what?
Perception again. 16.
Oh my god, I see things.
Yes, you do, because you notice that his amulet have kind of like a religious symbol on it, and it looks like an eye of a dragon, a red dragon, and the symbol of the wheat in the middle of the eye instead of the pupil.
The fuck is this?
So the amulet evolved, pretty much.
Okay. Should I roll religion on it to know
Sure.
what got it?
The funny thing is like, in all the time that you talked with Borgul, he didn't explain anything. How did you get this amulet and what this amulet is, like why his amulet got to that place? You just got the amulet. Like, Cable, you just got the amulet. You don't know anything.
Best explanation ever.
Yeah, I just got it.
Yeah, it's pretty much how it is with you guys. You just get the things. You don't care. Like, you do care about the story, but you don't care about how you got those things. Anyway, what are you trying to look for, Gordnak, in this story?
I want to know what I want to identify the symbol on the amulet.
For the most part, you don't really know this god, but you know that it's like, you do get like, you know it's like a deity that you don't really know that much, but you never heard about an evil dragon deity that have a wheat in its eyes. You never heard about that. You're
Cable, explain.
pretty sure. Yeah, go ahead, Cabled. Cabled?
Yeah.
Explain.
Why?
Why not?
Why not?
This is going to take.
I don't know any why not, Nas, but okay, if you don't want to explain, be it.
Yep, I'm not explaining.
Cool.
I don't care.
So anyway, this amulet is on you. And you guys are getting prepared into going to the temple. Is there anything specific that you wish to do before you're going into it? Or
I don't.
Well, okay. We are going to get to it, but not in this session. We're going to get into the temple and probably the last chapter of the arc, we'll see, in the next episode of the Unfit Crew. See you all then. Bye-bye.